price sheet at the electrical supply house in San Francisco is known for being difficult to read, mainly due to poor handwriting. The price sheet's poor legibility is a significant drawback. Despite this, the business maintains competitive pricing and a satisfactory inventory. The unreadable price sheet is a considerable inconvenience for both the employees and the customers. The illegible price sheet complicates the process of determining the cost of items. Firstly, it wastes time as individuals struggle to decipher the handwriting. Secondly, it increases the likelihood of errors in pricing. Thirdly, misunderstandings can arise between the staff and customers. This can lead to frustration and inefficiency. The act of manually updating the price sheet can contribute to the issue. As prices change, the updates are hastily written onto the existing sheet. Over time, this creates a dense and confusing document. It could be beneficial to implement a digital system for managing and displaying prices. A digital system would improve readability and reduce errors. A printed price list could offer some benefit too. Firstly, information could be added into the list and updated on a computer. Secondly, a new list could be printed each week if it becomes too messy. Thirdly, any discounts can be written clearly with a marker. An electronic system may reduce paper waste. Consider using a spreadsheet program. Input the item descriptions and prices into the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet can be easily updated as prices change. After updating the spreadsheet, print the updated price list. This method ensures that the price list is always legible. Furthermore, consider investing in a label maker to create clear and consistent labels for shelves and product. Proper labeling throughout the store can significantly reduce the need to constantly refer to the master price sheet. Train employees to write clearly and consistently when manually updating the price sheet. This is a short-term solution if digital systems are not feasible immediately. Ensure that all employees understand the importance of legibility. Encourage them to take their time when writing prices or making changes. Regularly review the price sheet for clarity and make corrections as needed. This will prevent the price sheet from becoming too cluttered and difficult to read over time. Explore alternative methods for displaying prices, such as posting individual prices on each product or using shelf tags. This could reduce reliance on the master price sheet and make it easier for customers to find the information they need. Gather feedback from employees and customers regarding the readability of the price sheet. Their input can provide valuable insights into areas that need improvement. It may also reveal specific challenges or pain points that need to be addressed. The electrical supply company could consider using a standardized format for writing prices and product codes. This would help to improve consistency and readability across the price sheet. The standardized format could include specific guidelines for writing numbers, letters, and symbols. In addition, consider using different colored pens or markers to differentiate between price updates and other information. This could make it easier to identify the most current prices and avoid confusion. Regularly clean and organize the price sheet to remove any smudges, dirt, or other debris that could obscure the writing. A clean price sheet is easier to read and less prone to errors. Ensure that the lighting around the price sheet is adequate. Poor lighting can make it difficult to read the small print and decipher the handwriting. Good lighting can improve readability and reduce eye strain. The location of the price sheet is crucial for its accessibility and usability. Ensure that the price sheet is placed in a well-lit and easily accessible location. This will make it easier for employees and customers to find the information they need. Consider creating multiple copies of the price sheet and placing them in different locations throughout the store. This would reduce congestion around the main price sheet and make it easier for people to access the information they need. If the price sheet is particularly large or unwieldy, consider dividing it into smaller, more manageable sections. This could make it easier to navigate and find specific information. Ensure that the price sheet is properly secured to prevent it from being damaged or misplaced. A damaged or misplaced price sheet can be a major inconvenience and can lead to errors in pricing. Regularly review and update the price sheet to ensure that the information is accurate and up to date. Outdated or inaccurate information can lead to customer dissatisfaction and lost sales. Implement a system for tracking price changes and ensuring that they are promptly reflected on the price sheet. This could involve using a spreadsheet or other software to manage price updates. Consider using a barcode scanner to quickly and accurately input prices into the system. This could reduce the risk of errors and improve efficiency. Regularly audit the price sheet to identify any discrepancies or inconsistencies. This could involve comparing the prices on the price sheet to the prices in the inventory system. If discrepancies are found, investigate the cause and take corrective action. The electrical supply company could implement a policy requiring employees to verify prices with a supervisor before quoting them to customers. This could help to reduce the risk of errors and ensure that customers are being charged the correct prices. Consider offering customers the option of receiving price quotes in writing. This would provide a record of the agreed upon prices and help to avoid misunderstandings. The electrical supply company could invest in a handheld device that allows employees to quickly and easily look up prices. This would eliminate the need to constantly refer to the price sheet and would improve efficiency. Consider using a mobile app to display prices and other product information. This would allow customers to access the information they need from their smartphones or tablets. The mobile app could also include features such as a product search function, a store locator, and a customer loyalty program. Regularly evaluate the effectiveness of the chosen methods for displaying prices and make adjustments as needed. There is no one-size-fits-all solution, so it is important to experiment with different approaches to find what works best for the electrical supply company and its customers. Also, provide incentives for employees to maintain accurate and up-to-date price information. This could involve offering bonuses or other rewards for employees who consistently demonstrate attention to detail and accuracy. Consider implementing a system for tracking customer complaints related to pricing. This could help to identify areas where improvements are needed. Regularly analyze customer complaint data to identify trends and patterns. Based on the analysis, develop and implement targeted interventions to address the root causes of the complaints. The electrical supply company could partner with a local business school or community college to offer training in basic handwriting skills. This would help to improve the legibility of the price sheet and other documents. Consider using a font that is specifically designed for readability, such as Arial or Verdana. These fonts are clear and easy to read even in small sizes. Avoid using decorative fonts or fonts that are difficult to read. Ensure that the font size is large enough to be easily read by people with vision problems. Consider using a magnifying glass or other assistive device to help people read the price sheet. The electrical supply company could offer discounts to customers who provide feedback on the readability of the price sheet. This would encourage customers to provide valuable input and help to identify areas that need improvement. Consider creating a separate price sheet for commonly purchased items. This would make it easier for customers to find the information they need. The electrical supply company could organize the price sheet by product category. This would make it easier for customers to find the products they are looking for. Consider using a color-coded system to differentiate between different product categories. This would make it easier for customers to quickly identify the products they need. The electrical supply company could create a glossary of terms used on the price sheet. This would help to clarify any ambiguous or confusing terms. Consider using clear and concise language on the price sheet. Avoid using jargon or technical terms that customers may not understand. Regularly review the price sheet to ensure that it is free of errors and omissions. This would help to maintain the accuracy and reliability of the information. The electrical supply company could implement a system for tracking changes made to the price sheet. This would help to ensure that all changes are properly documented and that the price sheet is always up to date. Consider using a version control system to manage changes to the price sheet. This would allow the electrical supply company to track changes over time and to revert to previous versions if necessary. The electrical supply company could store the price sheet electronically. This would make it easier to access and update the price sheet and would reduce the risk of loss or damage. The electrical supply company could back up the price sheet regularly. This would protect the electrical supply company against data loss in the event of a computer failure or other disaster. The electrical supply company could store the price sheet in a secure location. This would protect the price sheet from unauthorized access or modification. Regularly review the security measures in place to protect the price sheet. This would help to ensure that the price sheet remains safe and secure. The electrical supply company could implement a policy requiring employees to log out of their computers when they are not in use. This would help to prevent unauthorized access to the price sheet. Consider using a password-protected system to access the price sheet. This would help to prevent unauthorized access to the price sheet. The electrical supply company could encrypt the price sheet. This would make it unreadable to anyone who does not have the encryption key. Consider using a firewall to protect the price sheet from unauthorized access over the internet. The electrical supply company could install antivirus software on all computers that are used to access the price sheet. This would help to protect the price sheet from viruses and other malware. Regularly update the antivirus software. This would help to ensure that the antivirus software is effective against the latest threats. The electrical supply company could scan all files before they are opened to check for viruses. This would help to prevent viruses from infecting the system. Consider using a spam filter to block unsolicited emails that may contain viruses. The electrical supply company could train employees on how to identify and avoid phishing scams. This would help to prevent employees from falling victim to scams that could compromise the security of the price sheet. Consider implementing a disaster recovery plan. This would help the electrical supply company to recover quickly and efficiently in the event of a disaster that could damage or destroy the price sheet. Regularly test the disaster recovery plan. This would help to ensure that the plan is effective and that employees know what to do in the event of a disaster. The electrical supply company could purchase insurance to cover the cost of replacing the price sheet in the event of a disaster. This would help to protect the electrical supply company against financial losses. The electrical supply company could consider outsourcing the management of the price sheet to a third-party provider. This could free up internal resources and allow the electrical supply company to focus on its core business. When selecting a third-party provider, be sure to choose a reputable company with a proven track record. Get references from other customers of the third-party provider. Carefully review the contract with the third-party provider before signing it. Make sure that the contract clearly defines the roles and responsibilities of both parties. The electrical supply company could implement a system for monitoring the performance of the third-party provider. This would help to ensure that the third-party provider is meeting its obligations. Regularly review the contract with the third-party provider. This would help to ensure that the contract continues to meet the needs of the electrical supply company. If the electrical supply company is not satisfied with the performance of the third-party provider, it should consider terminating the contract. The electrical supply company should give the third-party provider written notice of its intent to terminate the contract. The notice should state the reasons for the termination. The electrical supply company should allow the third-party provider a reasonable opportunity to cure the breach. If the third-party provider fails to cure the breach, the electrical supply company can terminate the contract. The electrical supply company should consult with an attorney before terminating the contract. The electrical supply company should comply with all applicable laws and regulations when terminating the contract. The electrical supply company should document all communications with the third-party provider. The electrical supply company should keep a copy of the contract and all related documents. If the electrical supply company terminates the contract, it should take steps to ensure that the transition is smooth and seamless. The electrical supply company should notify all affected parties of the termination. The electrical supply company should transfer all data and information to a new provider. The electrical supply company should test the new system to ensure that it is working properly. The electrical supply company should monitor the new system to ensure that it is performing as expected.